Wake up! It's Monday morning. Sponsored by System of a Down. Steve, it's Monday morning. What's good, my man?
You know, just living the dream over here, coming off a 4-2 Friday. You know, like what's better than that? Starting the week off right, not trade deadline stuff. It's a lot going on, man. How you doing?
Steve, you look a little bit better than you did on previous shows.
I know. I got a new camera today. Got the Logitech 4K webcam here.
Sponsored ad.
That's it. They're coming for us. They're gonna start giving us money to promote them.
Tell me about it.
And there, as we go live, there goes my dog going bananas.
Ape shit.
Somebody just knocked on the door. So this is good. This is probably not great.
My dog hears it.
There's my beautiful wife to shut the door and get us going here.
Well, we got some people here on TikTok saying hello. What's up, guys? We're going over MLB Bets today. Obviously, it's Monday. We do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now my dog. All right, Briggs.
They're saying hi. I'm going to mute me.
Hey, let's talk about real quick. You brought this up to me yesterday. Jeff Passan, right?
Yes.
Passan, whatever. You got this stuffy, nerdy, PC, corporate, older. Yeah, he's not super old, but this boring guy. And you got him on Sunday Night Baseball talking baseball, Steve. And you brought up to me how that's not exactly the best way to grow baseball, right? And I agreed with you. I don't want him on there talking, especially young audience members. Do you think they relate to this guy or no?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, look, first of all, like, I don't want to trash him because, like, he's a good writer, right? He's a really good writer, but he's a writer. He's not built to be on camera.
Right.
So it's like kind of awkward to watch him because it's very awkward. It's very awkward to watch him. He's stiff. He's in this suit. He's stuffy. Like, I understand that is like very old school stuff where like the reporters in the suits talking about baseball, talking about the trade deadline, whatever. But it's not entertaining, like at all. And it's not entertaining during a game. And younger audiences are just going to tune out. Like me, my dad's 65. He tuned out. He was like, I got to change the channel. I'm sorry.
Just boring.
Right.
Boring stuff that he's talking about. He's reporting on certain things. That's great. But can we get someone else in there who's a little bit more lively, a little bit more entertaining, especially when you have a nationally televised baseball game like Sunday Night Baseball, right? Let's do something, like spice it up a little bit.
Right. Give me something else. Give me a personality. Give me guys that, or guys or women, whoever it is. Give me people that look, you know what? I don't want to see you in a suit when I'm watching a baseball game. Because guess what? When you go to a baseball game, nobody's in suits, right? The reporters maybe, but like nobody's in suits. Give us something that a young fan can relate to. Give us something a little more entertaining, actually a lot more entertaining than whatever they were talking about. They were talking about the trade deadline and it was fine, but there's like lapses in speaking. There's like dead space because he doesn't really know how to continue carrying on the conversation. It's just not an entertaining product. And I don't think that's helping. That's not helping people that are actually watching the game. And that's not going to help any new audiences tune in because you have baseball, right? Which I don't think baseball is boring. But if you already think baseball is boring and then while you're watching the game, you have somebody boring speaking, it's not a good recipe.
You're doubling down on the boringness. And I do think baseball is boring. So when people say baseball is boring, I can't argue with you. I'm like, it is. It definitely is. It's boring. And then it's not boring, which makes it, I think, a lot of fun. You could say the same thing with soccer too, right? You go 50 minutes with nobody scoring, and then they finally score, and the elation of everybody celebrating. Like, it's boring until it's not.
Right, exactly. And it's just like I'm trying to think of a good way to do it. It's like when I had the problem with the Apple TV broadcast, right? I had the problem with the Apple TV broadcast when the Mets were playing the Nationals, actually, because it was like the fourth inning, the Mets had the bases loaded and one out, and they're not even showing the at bat. They're just talking about Eduardo Escobar taking people to Fogo de Chao. This is like a bases loaded, one out is a huge point in the game, and you're not even paying any attention to that situation. Like, we can't have that. We need people that are in tune with what the hell is going on with the game itself and making that conversation interesting. Like, maybe talking about, like, you know what I love, what I'd love to see? I'd love to see people talking about like what's going on in the at bat, because then you're educating viewers, right? So like, you have, this is just an example. You have a guy up, it's like second and third, 1 out. Maybe you're starting to talk about, okay, this is what he's probably trying to do in this situation. He's trying to hit a fly ball to the outfield for a sac fly. So he's probably going to look for, maybe he looks for a fastball that's up in the zone and away so he can get extended, get that ball in the air. Or maybe he looks for a curveball here or whatever it is. And you talk about it, and that actually educates the viewer, and it makes the at-bat interesting, because now you're wondering, you're like, all right, pitch to pitch. You're like, okay, so he just threw him a fastball in. What is he going to do now? It's 0-1. Is he going to do something? Is he going to do something away? Like, is he going to throw off speed away? Let's see. Talk about it. Like, because that's what, when I'm watching the
Tony
game.
Romo, right? When
Yes.
Tony Romo's calling NFL games and he's like, oh, check him out here in the slot receiver. He's going to get a quick screen pass here. And then sure enough, that happens. And you're like, man, Tony Romo's a smart guy. And like, you look for that and you're like, wow, he called it.
Right. Exactly. And there's none of that. I don't really see any of that when I'm watching a baseball game. I don't see them talking about, all right, I think maybe he's going to do this here. You know what was cool? You know what was cool? All-Star game, Alek Manoah talking to the broadcast about what he's going to throw here. That was awesome. And Nestor Cortez did it. That was awesome. That's entertaining. They need more of that type of stuff, because A, you're educating the viewer. You're not just talking about nonsense. And B, it keeps you in tune with what's going on. Like, when I played baseball, one of my coaches used to say, it's pitch by pitch, at bat by at bat, inning by inning, right? You're trying to win an inning as opposed to thinking about it as a full game. That's what baseball is. It's pitch to pitch. And that's what I think I would like to see them talk about more in the situations. That's it.
Yeah, well, you were saying like with Alek Manoah, I mean, that's stuff. If they can get a mic on players, you know how much more viewership they would get, and like the him talking to the commentators in the booth, you know, and he's like, right down the middle, that's 3 punchies. Like,
right.
That is fun, right?
Right. That's the fun type of stuff. Like, that is awesome. But I don't get that with a guy just sitting there with a suit and tie being like, yeah, right. So I think the trade deadline's caught up because Juan Soto hasn't gone yet. And it's like, okay, we already know that. Give me something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me something else. Talk about the game.
The thing that drives me nuts is baseball butts.
Baseball butts.
You see this comment here?
I do. Oh, it's like like good, nice butts on players, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming so. Jesse Hobson. Baseball butts drive me nuts.
That should be a song.
Heaven, yeah, brother. Nice.
That should be a song.
Baseball. Well, that reminded me of Joe Dirt when he goes, "Cowboys butts drive me nuts." Got a bumper sticker on the back of his car.
There you go. There you go.
We got no comments here on TikTok, guys. If you're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, Instagram. Or no, we're on Twitter, YouTube, all that shit. So that's that. Steve, you want to get into the nitty gritty of why we're here today?
Well, I mean, that's what the people come here for, right? So we should probably. Oh wait, should we talk about Luis Castillo going to the Mariners? Like, what does that do?
I don't really have too much input on it because I don't really think it does much. But what do you think? Especially with Julio Rodriguez going down too, who's leading rookies in RBIs and home runs. But what do you have any take on it?
My take is they gave up 3 really big prospects for him, and they're going for it now. My take is they did that because they needed another rotation piece, but I still don't think it makes them better than Houston, and it doesn't make them better than the Yankees.
Right.
They're probably better than whoever's going to win the AL Central because that division is a complete and total disaster.
Sure.
But I don't think it makes I think it makes them not get to the ALCS. That's what.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
You know.
So you're pretty much playing for 4th place here.
Right. So, all right, let's make some picks, right?
Rangers over 7, Guardians first 5 money line, Guardians D-backs over 8. Missionary Chad Brad. We're going to get to some of those plays here soon. Steve, I'm going to kick it off, okay?
Let's
And
do
I
it.
feel very confident about today's plays. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but going through it, I was just like, oh, yeah. Loved it, you know?
You talk yourself up, you hype it, and then
I know.
whatever
Well, we
happens,
did good on
happens.
Friday. Like we said, 4-2 on Friday, right? Between
Four and
both of
two on
us.
Friday. I went 1-2 on Saturday. If you guys subscribe to my Substack Parlay Friday, I give out some free picks on weekends, little plus money bets. But I'm only down a little bit because everything was plus money. So
Exactly.
you listen. Record is great. I tell people this all the time. Record is great. ROI is better
100%.
because you could be. This is what we got to watch out for. Let's give them some education before we get into our picks. That's what you got to watch out for. The people that are like, I'm 32-1 in my last 33 whale plays. Also, nobody's 32-1 in the last 33 anything in sports betting. Secondly, those are the people that go, oh, I'm 1-1 today, but both my bets were minus 250. So actually, I'm down a lot of money. So
and you can say the same thing too. Like you said, when you're on, you could be 2-4, but those are plus 132 odds. You're actually up money,
right?
You can hit at a lower percent clip when you're playing with plus money, obviously.
Exactly, and that's why I love baseball. But let's get into it. Let's make some money today.
All right, guys, let's get started. First pick here. I got Mets minus 1.5. I get that at minus 136. This was by the look on Steve's face, I don't know if he likes it or not, but it's a weekly tradition. Fade Patrick Corbin day. Patrick Corbin, 6.49 ERA, almost a 6.5 ERA. He ranks in the bottom 4% in expected ERA, bottom 4%. Corbin has allowed 21 runs in his last 16 2/3 innings. That's bad. 21 runs in 16 2/3 innings. Mets are going to answer with Max Scherzer on the bump. Since returning from his injury, he's got a 1.39 ERA in 5 starts. Nationals ranked 20th in OPS versus right-handed pitching and average the 5th fewest runs per game. I think that's all I needed to say. Again, we know this is baseball and anything can happen, but I think Mets minus 1.5 is the easiest call on the day for me.
Yeah, no, I was making that face because I agree with you. I don't disagree in any way. I don't think you could even
argue the opposite.
You can't even argue the opposite way. Pat Corbin stinks. The Nationals right now are all playing they're playing terrible, and they're probably all just wondering what's going on with the trade deadline because Soto and Josh Bell. And also, I saw some stats today. The Mets numbers against Patrick Corbin.
Yeah.
They have guys that just shell him.
Yeah.
One of those guys being Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's hitting 360 and I think he's got 34 at bats, 360. He's got 4 home runs off of him. If you want a nice little home run, if you want a home run prop, Pete Alonso's only plus 250 to go yard today, and he owns Pat Corbin. I was looking at Pete Alonso 2+ total bases, but it's at minus 110, so I didn't really see a ton of value in making that play. He's minus 110 to record an RBI. So, I mean, if you want to do a same game parlay and just stack a bunch of Pete Alonso stats, that's not a bad idea too. But yeah, I mean, there's no way to argue against this. Also, you got good odds here because I just looked on FanDuel and that moved to minus 152.
Really?
So yeah. So the Nationals are in a really terrible spot right now. And what happens if they trade Soto or Bell today? You lose another bat in that lineup. Where's the offense going to come from? Yeah, because the deadline's tomorrow, so it might not happen today. But still, I don't know. That's just not a good recipe today. So I like that. My first pick, I think we're on the same thing here, but you want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first. You are up. I was just taking a look at this. We try to do the same thing on KO Breakdown Playmakers MMA show. So I guess this is who Jesse is. He does the KO Breakdown on Playmakers Network as well. So that's who Jesse was.
Yes, I think he's talking about the plus money.
Gotcha.
With the plus money, which makes sense. I have a lot of friends that bet MMA. I would not touch it because I don't know enough. I'm not educated enough on the situation. But I have a lot of friends that do bet MMA, and it's all about these plus money bets that they look for. So I mean, they seem to win. I don't know.
Saying All the money is on the Mets today. Vegas might sweep us again. I really don't. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean the public wins. The public wins too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And you see the odds, like you said, it's moving. Now it's at minus, I see it's at minus 140 on my book. You said
Right.
it's at
So
minus 150.
so here's a little another tidbit there. TikTok person who made that pick. When all the money is on one team and the line is still moving towards that team, you do not bet the other way.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that. If the money was all on the Mets and that went from minus 136 to like minus 125, then you're like, okay, there might be something there. But it's going the other way still, even with the money pouring in on them. You don't take the Nationals in that situation. You just don't. Next, all right, Royals White Sox under 9 minus
Yes.
110. All right. This number to me is way too high because A, the White Sox don't hit righties. B, the Royals don't hit anyone. Royals bullpen stinks, but I don't see Aaron Judge in the White Sox clubhouse to destroy this in the late innings. So over the last 15 days, both of these teams are tied for 17th in OPS, and they're 22nd and they're 25th in runs scored. Does Brad Keller, who starts for the Royals tonight, stink? He sure does, but the White Sox are 27th in OPS against righties. And then Michael Kopech going for the White Sox. I don't expect the Royals to do a whole lot. They're 26th in OPS against righties. This line probably moves down to like an 8.5 or an 8 by the time the game starts. So I would grab this now. Royals, White Sox under 9.
I just need to correct this guy. We're not talking about Mets money line. We were talking about Mets minus 1.5.
There you go.
So we understand that's why it's at minus 250. Minus 136 is Mets minus 1.5. Thank you for answering that run line. Appreciate it. Steve, I am with you on this pick as well. Have the same kind of stats. Over the entire season, they both ranked 26th and 27th in OPS versus right-handed pitching. So both teams don't hit right-handed pitching very well. 26 in RBIs versus right-handed pitching, the Royals. And like you said, over the past 2 weeks, 22nd, 23rd in RBIs, 22nd, 25th in runs scored. Brad Keller, 3.7 ERA in July. Kopech faced the Royals in April, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He also had 4 walks. So if he can cut that down a little bit, might even be a little bit better. Keller faced the White Sox in May, 7 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. So for me, that's 5 runs between the two if they face each other today. Casey does have a very bad bullpen, but again, that right-handed pitching, White Sox don't hit it. And I think that number's a little bit high. So
yeah, that number seems high. I mean, so this was the weirdest thing that happened. I was going to do a first 5 under on this game. Okay. It was at 4.5. It was at minus 128. Okay. I didn't put the bet in because I wanted to do the research on it. I did the research to affirm my instinct, and the line moved to 5.5 for the first 5 innings, and it went over was like plus 125 and under was like minus 148. And I was like, there's just no reason to bet this anymore. So I just looked at the full game under. That's it. Well, I don't know what that's a weird movement. I think the books for some reason think that these teams are going to hit tonight. I don't see that happening. Sometimes the books are wrong. So I'm going with this full game under here.
Yeah. I mean, we see both pitchers who are very easily can get dapped up. I think in one of the last 3 starts, Kopech, let's see, he gave up. It's only 4 earned runs in his last 3 starts. One was at Colorado, no earned runs in Colorado, 6 hits.
If he just doesn't walk guys, they don't hit him.
Yeah.
The problem is he walks guys and he gives up like a bloop single and they score runs. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. So if he just could keep the walks to a minimum, the Royals scored like 7. The Royals scored like 7 or 8 runs yesterday, I think, or maybe they scored 8 runs yesterday.
Right, against the Yankees. Yeah.
Against the Yankees, this team is not very good. Like the lineup's not good. Yesterday they scored 8 runs, sure, but they might get shut out tonight. So
and then you're traveling to Chicago and divisional opponents. So we'll see.
So
that was both of ours. We both had that play.
Yes. I'm gonna go. You want to go?
Ahead.
You want to go your last one, or you want me to go, and then because I got 2 left.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. Go ahead.
All right. So my next play, I'm gonna do Jose Altuve 2+ total bases plus 100. I've been liking these 2+ total bases bets lately. When I find some stats against the starting pitcher, a lot of people will tell you that batter versus pitcher stats don't matter a whole lot, but I seriously beg to differ. Yeah. All right. Altuve's got 21 career at-bats against Nate Eovaldi. He's 7 for 21 with 3 home runs. He's also got 6 hits in his last 14 at bats. So it looks like he's coming out of that pretty substantial slump that he was in. So I'm going to take the chance here, plus money, plus the Astros are at home. Altuve pop one over that little short porch in left field here. Like this today, plus money, 2+ total bases. Altuve
2+ total bases, plus 120. Steve, I'm staying in that game.
We got
my last play here is Astros -1.5 at
Big
plus
1.5 day
120. Plus 120. Astros are batting .358 against Nate Eovaldi. Now get this. Their top 4 batters, Altuve, Gurriel, Alvarez, Bregman. Their 4 batters are hitting a combined .464 in 68 at-bats versus Eovaldi. .464, their top 4 hitters. Eovaldi in July, do you know what his July ERA was? 11.08. That was his July ERA. 2.04 whip in 3 starts. So not getting on that train. Luis Garcia has won 6 of his last 7 starts. 1 against the Mets, 2 against the Yankees. So those are very good offenses as well. Red Sox rank 19th in runs scored over the last 2 weeks. Give me Astros -1.5. Better starting pitching, better offense.
I think that's a great move.
At plus 120 too.
And I think you made me do it. You made me do it.
Oops, I did it again.
You made me do it. I just went into the app and I just placed a bet. I'm adding the Astros team total over 4 at -130.
Beautiful.
For tonight as well. Because you
got that at -130?
Yeah.
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 Why wouldn't you just do 1.5 and you get plus money?
I could do that too. Now I'm just adding. I just worry about like the Red Sox lineup late, maybe like popping in a run or two. So the thing with the team total over bets is you don't have to worry about the other team.
Right.
You just got to worry. You just got to worry about one team. I've been burned on -1.5 a couple times this year. Actually, my last 3 1.5 bets I got burned on. One being the Mets. They gave up a run in the 9th. And then the Reds last week actually blew a lead to the Marlins. The Marlins scored like 5 in the top of the 9th inning.
The only thing that sucks too is when they're at home, you're not guaranteed 9 innings of hitting.
I know. I'm actually banking on them doing this against Eovaldi early. Because like you said, like those numbers that you just gave
are egregious.
Right. So, and they're at home, and they mash at home. That short porch and left. Yordan Alvarez could hit it out of the Grand Canyon if he wanted to. I mean, this whole thing just is looking like that. The Astros are a wagon right now too, man. Like they're so good. I've switched a lot of my thoughts on things this year. I remember I said McClanahan was going to win the Cy Young. I've switched that to Justin Verlander because I just don't think that the Rays did McClanahan any favors by pulling him at 85 pitches, back to back starts. And they're also not I think Cy Young, especially, you got to look at who does more for their team. And Verlander's carrying, he's fantastic. And the Astros are in first place and have a chance to catch the Yankees.
Right.
There's that. I've changed my mind on that big time. And I've also changed my mind on that. I think Aaron Judge should win the MVP. That's a conversation for another time.
That goes with your narrative about what you're doing for your team, right?
Well,
Best
on
the best team.
Well, look, also Ohtani does have the thing is Ohtani has pretty good hitting numbers, right? He doesn't have great hitting numbers. He has pretty good hitting numbers and he has really good pitching numbers, which I understand. But with all of that being said, they're like, oh, you can't take this into account. Yeah, I can take it into account. If there's anybody that can help their team win more games, it's Ohtani because he does both. And guess what? They stink. Okay. Right. I know the rest of their lineup's not very good and Ohtani's great, but Aaron Judge is carrying the Yankees. The Yankees lineup as a whole, it might look pretty decent on paper. He's carrying them. He has won games for them by himself. He's the MVP. I'm sorry. That's it. End of story.
No, I 100% agree. And I think he's if he wants to eclipse that 60, 61, 62 home runs, I think they said he's got to hit 1 home run every 3 games. They got a tracker for him now because it's getting very close.
If he breaks the AL home run record, he hits 300, he leads the league in RBIs, and then you're going to tell me that his team has the best record in the AL. You're not going to give that guy the MVP because he doesn't pitch.
Right. That's why we have Cy Young and MVPs as well.
Correct. All right.
We got
What
some
do we got?
guys on here. Let's see. Here's what these guys got total over for the D-backs guards, first half guards total, and under 9 for the Royals, White Sox. So he's on us. Missionary Chad Brad. He's with us for
What a
that
name.
White Sox. Yeah, right.
What a name.
What a name.
All
What
right,
name?
I got one more here.
Yes, let's hear it.
Giants, first 5, money line, plus 106. It's tough to fade the Dodgers in any situation, especially against a right-handed pitcher, but I'm looking at a couple different things. So, first of all, we got Logan Webb going for the Giants. He is really good. 2.91 ERA this year, 2.23 ERA over his last 7 starts. He's facing a Dodgers team that is actually coming off of a weekend in Coors Field. And then he faced the Dodgers 2 starts ago in LA, went 6 innings, gave up 1 run and 5 hits. I like that.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
On the other side, and also Giants offense, they're not exactly world beaters. Andrew Heaney's only given up one earned run in 19 innings pitched this season, but the Giants are 8th in the MLB in OPS against left-handed pitching, and guess what? It's still Andrew Heaney. At some point, he is going to come back down to earth and be the Andrew Heaney that we all know, which is mediocre.
We were talking about that too. Who did he face? And that's a very small sample size, right?
Yeah, he just faced. I'll tell you right now. I had it. Did that go out on me? Am I still on camera here, or am I not?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. I did this. I looked at this earlier. I looked at his game log because I was like, all right, who has he faced? He also hasn't pitched a lot because he got hurt. Because guess what he does? He always gets hurt.
Right.
So I'm going here. Andrew Heaney. If my computer would load a little bit, that would be fantastic. Here we go. Game log. And look, this is only 4 starts this season. So it's a very small sample size. So in April, he faced the Twins in his first start.
Yeah.
Okay. He went 4 1/3. Now he faced.
We could throw that out the window too. That's April.
Throw it out the window. Also in April, he faced Cincinnati. The Reds were the worst team in baseball in April. So throw that one out the window. Then he faced the Guardians. The Guardians in June were the worst team in the MLB against left-handed pitching. And then he faced his last start, the Nationals.
Yeah. So you're facing nobody, small sample size. So when you're looking at things like that, you have to say this is not the spot where he's going to continue, right?
That's what I'm looking at. And also, like, the Giants, like, throughout the course of the season, they are 8th in the MLB in OPS against left-handed pitching. I'm not leaving this to chance late in the game. I still think, even though the numbers tell you a little differently because it's a small sample size, I still think Logan Webb is better than Andrew Heaney. And yeah, I know the Dodgers lineup's better, but they're coming off a weekend at Coors Field, and Logan Webb is just very good. He's an ace, in my opinion. So in this scenario, for the first half of the game, I'm not doing run line. The run line, the Giants were plus a half for the first 5, and that was at minus 132. So, yeah, a tied game, you win that bet. But I'm not really in this for the ties. This, I would get a push anyway here if it's a tied game after 5. I'm going for the plus money, plus they're the home team. So, plus 106.
Get last reps, which is nice.
So plus 106. I think it's a value bet because I don't really love the slate as a whole today. This is a value bet to me. I think at plus 106, Giants first 5 money line is really nice play today. I don't know. Maybe people on TikTok disagree. You tell me.
No, against that Andrew Heaney, I think this is a good spot for him, like you said. Jesus Luzardo coming back. What's your thoughts? I really don't have any thoughts on that.
I don't have any thoughts on that. I don't have any thoughts on that because the Reds are on the road, right? This game's in Miami.
I didn't see.
The Reds' offense is a completely different offense at home and on the road. Yeah, the game's in Miami. Hunter Green's going. I'd take a first 5 under in that one, but maybe I'm a psychopath. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers.
You are a psychopath, Steve.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything. We're just gonna recap it real quick. I have Giants money line and White Sox plus 254. Not bad. Giants money line, like you said, against the Dodgers and White Sox versus the Royals. Plus 254. That's good. I like that.
That's pretty good. 2-teamer.
Yeah. Just to review, guys, we got Mets minus 1.5 at minus 136. I got Astros minus 1.5 plus 120. Me and Steve both have Royals, White Sox under 9 at -115. Steve's got Jose Altuve 2+ total bases at +100. And then finally, Steve's got Giants first 5 money line at +106. That's 2 plus money plays from Steve, 1 plus money play from me. So you're plenty to choose from, guys. There's a lot to choose
It's all about
from.
hitting. I'm trying to hit doubles now. I'm just trying to hit doubles.
Exactly. Get that OPS a little bit higher. You know what I mean?
That's it.
That's what we like to look at.
Exactly. Love OPS.
Quality 30-minute show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back Wednesday. Yeah, that's it.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Let's win some money.
All right, my man. Let's chasing the elusive 6-0 still, right?
I think we could get it. Tonight would only be 5-0. That would
right, because we have the same one.
That would be, but although I did add the Astros team total over 4 at -130. So maybe we go 6-0 tonight. This is the elusive 6-0. We're going for it.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday. Peace.